Alright, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name is Curtis, and as you guys know, fall is right around the corner. So I was thinking to myself, hey, what's one note that I really enjoy wearing in the fall? Well, vanilla is one of those notes. So I went through my collection, I was looking for a vanilla fragrance, and I came across Vampire Rhum by Lorenzo Pezzaglia, and I thought, hey, let me do a dedicated review to Vampire Rhum. That's one fragrance that I really think is just an impressive and just extremely well constructed fragrance. So I'll be giving you my review on Vampire Rhum. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts about this fragrance, then let's go. All right guys, so here's my bottle of Vampire Rhum by Lorenzo Pezzaglia. And this is a house that I feel has been gaining a lot of traction, especially as of recently. You know, they've had hits like Sangria or Summer Hammer, and Vampire Rhum I think is also a hit for them for sure. At least in my opinion it is. I feel like it's just an extremely well done fragrance and it just smells amazing. So basically, yeah, your fragrance will come like this. This is a 50 ml extrait de parfum concentration. The caps come off. Now these caps are quite weighty. They are pretty heavy. It's definitely well constructed, and as you can see, there's like a little emblem on the cap there. You may or may not be able to see it. Sorry if my lighting's a bit off, but yeah, there's kind of a cool, almost like bat there on the emblem. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about this fragrance. So I'm gonna spray this on my hand here. Oh, okay, the atomizers like that, just one spray. That's really all you need. So yeah, with this one too, I'm not gonna be going over all the notes in this fragrance, but I'm just gonna be talking about the notes that I actually pick up when I'm smelling this. Okay, so I don't even have to bring my hand to my nose, as this is an extremely diffusive fragrance, so it's pushing off quite heavily. But basically what I'm getting in the air right now is a very heavy blast of rum, along with some vanilla. But I would say on that initial spray, the rum is a bit more dominant than the vanilla is. But it's starting to change now, and so that vanilla is starting to push a bit more forward as I speak. Yeah, and you can slightly pick up, very slightly right now, on some patchouli that's in this fragrance as well, and it gives it a slight earthiness. So, and I would say that this is more so along the lines of like a chocolatey, cakey patchouli. Man, but the combination of the rum, the vanilla, and the patchouli right now is amazing. But now is when that vanilla is starting to take the lead in this fragrance. And this fragrance has, I think, 4 or 5 different kinds of vanilla in it. And you might be thinking,
whoa, 4 or 5 different kinds of vanilla. That's gonna be way too sweet.
Now, this fragrance is sweet, but it's not cloyingly sweet. I don't know, but it doesn't come off cloying, at least to me. And that's just my own opinion. And I'm someone, if for any of you guys that have been watching my channel for any amount of time, you know I'm not the biggest fan of gourmand fragrances, but for some reason, this one works for me. And I think it's the combination of notes here. But yeah, there are 4 different kinds of vanilla in here. But like I said before, it's not like overly sweet. It's definitely sweet, but I think the rum and the patchouli really help to balance this fragrance out a bit. But through the wearing experience, like as you're wearing it and you move more in towards the dry down, that patchouli and the rum are always kind of sitting right behind that vanilla. But you also get a bit of oud that starts to push forward, which helps to provide a bit of woodiness to this fragrance. So one thing that I really enjoy about the oud that starts to push forward in this fragrance is that it kind of gives this scent kind of a dark and mysterious vibe, and a little bit more of that earthiness quality that this fragrance has. But the oud in here isn't like a barnyardy or skanky type of oud. I mean, it's more of like a westernized oud, I would say. But it just helps to add a bit more depth and character to this fragrance. And I think for me, having the earthiness with that patchouli and also the oud, and of course I love boozy fragrances. If this fragrance didn't really have that, I feel like it would be way too sweet. So I think these notes really help to balance out that sweetness. So let's talk about performance for a second. So this fragrance, like I said before, is quite diffusive. It will leave a massive sillage trail, and I would say it is a room filler. This is a beast in terms of performance. As I found, like in my experience with most Lorenzo Pizzalia fragrances, they all perform quite well. So the way he constructs his fragrances, I wonder if he's keeping performance in mind. So for those of you that are looking for a beastly, strong, quite diffusive vanilla fragrance, then this might be your cup of tea. But for me, of course I enjoy the performance of this, but living here in Japan, I need to be very careful with the amount of sprays that I'm using. Even, I think for me, just one spray of this fragrance is enough. It's quite diffusive, and the way it performs on my skin and the bubble that it creates around me is plenty for me. But spraying this on my skin, I easily get 10 to 12 hours. Upon the first few hours, you're definitely getting a huge scent bubble around you. And then over time, that slowly starts to taper in. But yeah, performance is not an issue with this fragrance. I feel like this is a scent that you can wear casually or kind of dressed up a night out. Maybe it's a date night. I feel like this is probably a good fragrance for one of those occasions. But like what I will say, I would say if this is maybe a first date occasion, this fragrance is quite loud and it pushes out quite heavily. So you might want to just, consider how many sprays you're going to be doing for that. But I do think it could work well for a date night, but possibly not a first date. But to each his own. Do what you like, wear what you like. Those are just my opinions. So for me, I think this is one of the best vanilla, boozy, slightly earthy fragrances that you can buy that's on the market right now. Not only in terms of scent profile and the way it smells, but also in terms of its performance. I mean, it's just the all-around package, and this is definitely one that I'm so happy to have in my collection. And I really want to explore more from the house of Lorenzo Pizzalia. So my overall score for this fragrance, I'll give a 9 out of 10. It's really that good, and it's one that I'm excited to spend even more time with when fall rolls around and also those winter months. I think it's really gonna work. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content, and let me know down in the comment section, have you tried Vampire Rhum? What are your thoughts on it? And have you tried any other fragrances from the house of Lorenzo Pizzalia? Yeah, let me hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear about them. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.